this is DCN Weekly, where we talk about all the latest and hottest news from DC this week. As usual, except for last time, I'm going to start it off by talking about this week's episode of Gotham, which mainly focused around Scarecrow. Basically Scarecrow's origin story. It starts out with his father. He's fearful of things and he wants to end fear. Not only for himself, but also for his son. He makes this kind of potion thing out of adrenal glands. He mixes it together with several different people, and he injects it into his son once, and then one more time when finally Jim Gordon has caught on and figures out where the child and his father is. Obviously that didn't go so well because little Dr. Crane was kind of convulsing and freaking out. So he was taken to the hospital where they couldn't quite figure out what was wrong. But at the very, very end of that episode, we get to see him and his fear, because when he was injected with the toxin, the venom, the potion, whatever it was, he saw a scarecrow. He was in a cornfield where there was a scarecrow. So he has a bit of a panic attack in the hospital, lying in bed, and sees Scarecrow, and that becomes his alter ego, obviously. So that's how we were introduced to Scarecrow, to his father, and another new character in Gotham. Now, it was a pretty good episode. I am enjoying Gotham more this season. It does seem to be improving, but the major problem for me is that they just keep introducing new characters, and they never get to focus on one long enough. With the exception of Penguin, which is awesome because that actor is absolutely brilliant and he pretty much makes the show. What worries me is next week they're going to be delving into the idea of Joker, and he's basically a kid with a maniacal laughter already. And I just don't see Joker being like that. For me, his origin story is Killing Joke, which tends to make more sense as to how he became that way. And so I don't understand why a child would already have a maniacal laughter, will already be that way so early, so young. But hopefully they'll explain it in a way that is decent, and hopefully they'll kind of wean back. Because my idea, my hope was that they would wait until season 2, because they have been picked up for season 2, and that would have been a better time to tackle Joker. Maybe hint at it in this season, but not show him so early in this season. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I think they should have waited until second season, but I guess we're going to find out next Monday what happens. Let's move on to The Flash. So The Flash on Tuesday kind of focused mostly around Ronnie Raymond and Dr. Stein. We come to learn that while the body is Ronnie Raymond, he's actually being controlled by Dr. Stein. It's him inside, and that's kind of the conflict here. And obviously Caitlin Snow has a difficult time learning that. She had tried to move on previously, wanted to forget about it, realizing that Ronnie was not the same guy that she fell in love with, but now again was faced with him, with this person that she loves, that she can slightly communicate with, and that probably kind of puts a pin in things, kind of stops her from moving on. So basically the episode revolves around trying to separate the two identities and make them one again, their own selves. So I did find it to be a pretty interesting episode. It was nice that they didn't focus too much on just one kind of villain that shows up for one episode and disappears after that. We've definitely been building to see more of Ronnie and see his transformation and see how he turns out after all that he's been through. And basically he shows up kind of looking like a hobo, but a hobo on fire. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where it goes, how it ends up, what the resolution will be with that character and with all the characters that surround him. So I did find this Flash episode to be pretty good. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing the resolution with him and how it impacts the group as a whole. And one last thing about the Flash, we learned that Emily Kinney from The Walking Dead will be joining the cast as Bug-Eyed Bandit. So we have that to look forward to. I'm definitely excited to see her, because I did enjoy her presence in The Walking Dead, and it's nice to see her move on to something, especially The Flash. So that would be pretty interesting to see. Finally, Arrow we'll talk about. It was a pretty exciting episode just because finally Arrow tells Thea the truth. It is very exciting, and she finally forgives her brother for never being around, because now she knows that he was out saving lives and not just neglecting their relationship, that he had reason to be out. And she finds that to be amazing, and she's really forgiving of him, and that's something that I didn't see coming. I thought that she would just be really upset because they had that earlier fight involving the window breaking, and I didn't know how she would take it, but she took it really well and forgave Oliver and basically wants to work with him. We also saw Thea kind of fall into this young man's arms who is actually linked to Ra's al Ghul. And again, her brother had to come save her, and we can kind of sense that she feels a little bit left out. She's definitely mad at Malcolm Merlyn for never telling her anything. It was bad enough that he didn't tell her that he was her father, but now he didn't tell her that he knew that her brother was Arrow all along, or at least, you know, most of the time. Apart from that, so we once again saw Laurel come back as Black Canary, and she had kind of a weird fight with her sister, the real Black Canary, but she was just hallucinating because she had been shot with a dart by some lovely fellow, where she's told again and again by Sarah that she's stolen her mantle, that she should step down, that she's not Black Canary, and all the feelings that obviously she felt subconsciously, some guilt that she's experiencing around Sarah and what had happened to her. We also saw Team Arrow basically tell Oliver what was up. He left them alone. Together they formed a team, including Laurel, and that he could no longer tell her to stay out of the way, to keep to herself, and to stop dressing up as Black Canary, because while he was gone, they had to defend themselves, they had to protect themselves, and they were without him, so he had no right to come back in and try to demand that everything goes his way. Which I thought was a really great moment, because finally you see that the team is not only strong when Oliver is around, but they're also strong separately and together as a unit when he's gone, which is kind of important because he seems to disappear a little bit. So that was kind of the summation of Arrow. I really enjoyed the episode just because finally there's less secrets, there's less having to worry about who's seeing what and who's finding out what. Everything is now on the table, and I think that will lead to more exciting storylines to come later on in this season. So yeah, I really enjoyed Arrow. Speaking of Arrow, we also got our first glimpse at Adam and his fancy outfit that he's going to be wearing, so I suggest that you check that out. It's all over the internet, so it shouldn't be very hard to find, and it's definitely exciting to see where that's going to go as well. And for those of you who watch Constantine, I have chosen not to watch the show just because I don't know that much about the character, but it is good to know that Sci-Fi is thinking about picking up the series and moving it from NBC, so if you were worried about the show being off the air, rest assured that at least conversations are taking place, that the show will be saved, and probably on a better station as well. So here's hoping that it doesn't get canceled, because more DC properties on TV, I mean, the more the better. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of Gotham, The Flash, and Arrow, or any of them, depending on what you watch. And I love hearing your thoughts on each and every episode, so comment down below. Now to talk about DC cinematic news. So The Rock confirmed that the Shazam movie, where he's going to be playing Black Adam, is connected to the rest of the cinematic universe in that long string of movies we have leading up to 2020, I believe. So that's nice to know, because none of us were really sure how it was going to work out, if it was actually going to be connected to the other films, because it is such a different entity. Shazam is definitely a different kind of thing, so it's interesting to see that it will be connected to the rest of the films as well. And I believe that's about it for the DC Cinematic Universe news. There hasn't been too much happening this week, other than The Rock news, of course. Different camera, I'm sorry. I apparently forgot to turn off loud noise things in my room. Anyway, that's all the cinematic news that DC had this week. There wasn't too much going on, so that's all that I can really say for that. Please let me know in the comments down below how you felt about Arrow this week, The Flash this week, Gotham, and the possible news about Constantine moving to the Sci-Fi Channel from NBC. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again next week with another DCN Weekly. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like, share, whatever you can. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm so grateful for your support. Please check out dccomicsnews.com. Please follow them on Twitter at dccomicsnews. Follow me on Twitter at KatieFox. And if you like this video, then please do just like it. We love the support, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys again next week. Bye!